on the channel, ain't I great? Like a young Jeff Jarrett today. Figure collections, bone-crushing wrestlers, Jeff Jarrett.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another bone-crushing wrestlers unboxing and review. And today on the channel, ain't I great indeed, with Double J, Jeff Jarrett. And of course, for all your figure collection needs for Jeff Jarrett, guess what? Hit up Figure Collections. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there, and that's exactly what I did. Use discount code Kyle. Save myself 10% on these two Jeff Jarretts. A little yin, a little yang on here. Got the Aztec gear, got the more traditional wrestling gear, and of course we'll compare that to the bone-crunching wrestler from way back in the day with old Double J as well. Now there is one other Jeff Jarrett part of this one. I guess I'm playing the long game. I need to get around to probably picking that one up. It is a J&J Figures exclusive, so look that up if you're after that. I am after that myself, but very cool to get Jeff Jarrett, a guy we just feel like we should have had a lot more figures from over the years. The last few years we've got a few more. We've got some major bendies from him as well. Recently an AEW Jazzwares figure. Have to imagine a mainline Jazzwares figure in the future as well. So things finally coming up Jeff Jarrett all these years later. Very disappointed we didn't get that Ultimate Edition from Mattel, but it is what it is. Maybe one day. But one day we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And we're going to start with the Ain't I Great edition, the old Aztec Jeff Jarrett. A wild look back in the day. But you know, the 90s, a wild time as we know. But love the packaging on these. Really, really feel and look like the old bone crunchers of old. But now they're crushing the bones, not crunching. That's the big difference there. But it is bone-crushing wrestlers. Jeff Jarrett, of course, looking good. Series 2 action figures. JEFFJARRETT. Don't forget how to spell his name. Glamour shot down here as well. Figure Collections logo at the top. Looking good. On the back, a lot of magic on this back here. You got the cross-sell down to the Wrestling Something Wrestlers figure lines. Of course, Figure Collections, they have retro figures, bone-crushing figures. Then they do sell the Epic toys and other toy lines as well. So check them out. Tell them Kyle sent you, as I always say. How about that cross-sell, though? We got Glacier around the corner. We got Bryan Adams Crush around the corner. And then we got the Hardy Boys. So really filling out some of this stuff. Would love to see a Mortis in the future. Would be a great one. Maybe they can get that one done in the future. But looking good on the back of the card right here. The action is back. It definitely is. Ages 15 and up. Thank you, Mark Summers from the couch. Yes, that Mark Summers. Double Dare's own Mark Summers. Good to have you on the couch here today. Always looking out for the kids. But you told us in a video not too long ago you actually hated kids. It was just a paycheck for you. Neither here or there. Okay, Mark in his 70s now. He's getting a little antsy from the couch from time to time. But looking good. But nothing on the back to read really going on. Create your own body slam, pile driving, headbutt, and clothesline and fight to the finish with FC Toys bone-crushing wrestlers. Each figure features lifelike detail and bone-crushing abilities. Asterisk mark right there. And for even more fun, display your figures on your favorite shelf alongside your action figures from the past and present. And I believe these don't crunch the bones anymore, if I'm not mistaken. And this is Ain't I Great edition from 1997 for those keeping track at home. Would love to leave this on the card, but I just can't do it. I got to get it out. I got to play with my Double J. That's what I call it. I want to play with my Double J a little bit. We're going to pull him. Oh no, no plastic prison this time. He fell out. See you later. A little side shuffle right there. And up high, goodbye, see you later. Like a young George Niang. Yes, George Niang. Went to college with George Niang. Shout out to old George Niang there. But ain't I great right here? What is going on? We got Jeff Jarrett, and I would say they did a good job on this Jeff Jarrett head. You got that blonde hair, you got those blonde eyebrows, got those teeth going on. Looking a little bit like Jerry Jarrett, but that makes sense. It is his dad after all. But not terrible. 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, 2 ears, playing those human hits. Got that ponytail, rocking that pony in the back. Shout out to old Double J on the ponytail. Then you got the Aztec gear looking really wild here. You got the orange and the blue and the white looking very nice. But this is what he had way back when, as we do know. But I do like this. Wish we would have got this way back when. Now here we are 20, 30 years later. What is time? What is years? We're finally getting it going on right here. Now we do got a Fist of Fury over here, and then we do get the 2 fingers. Of course, he's doing the 2. We always know Jeff Jarrett doing that stuff, doing the little Fargo strut action, of course. Arms all the way around for us there. Head back and forth just a little bit. Waist back and forth a little bit. Legs go up, looking very good, and that's it for articulation. Now, longtime collectors of bone crunching, it's always hard going back and forth. Bone crunchers back in the day, sometimes they would loosen up on you. That's one thing I do like about this modern day figure collections line. The joints I don't feel are ever going to get loose on you, so that is nice. There's nothing worse than a loose bone cruncher, for sure. You don't want a loose one. You want a hard, stiff bone cruncher, that's for sure. You want to be able to crunch through if you need to. And that's what we do get with these. Now, we do get the wrist tape here in white, looking very nice as well. Orange boots on him, got the knee pads. Not a bad piece of business, if you ask me. No branding, anything like that on the feet. I would say, hey, why not put the Figure Collections logo 2025 or something like that down here? Brand it just in case somebody buys a loose one. They look it up. What is this? They know what it is. And then also it just helps the branding. Oh, this is a Figure Collection. Never heard of these. I'm going to go see what a Figure Collections is all about. So it's all about branding with the old business hat on, as we know. But looking good for old Double J. I like what I see out of this one. Got to say I was more enthused about this one for sure than this one over here. But this one is nice. And I talked about J&J having one. It is a variant of this one, of course. Now, we did get Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett gate way back in the day where they kind of shared the same head back and forth. That was pretty disappointing. So in my mind, technically, we only get really one Jeff Jarrett from the bone crunching days. But now we got 2 in the bone crushing days right here. And there's old Double J looking good in 1999 gear for old Jeff Jarrett is what it says. Series 2 action figures on the back. Same cross-sell going on. I bet same everything. Got to get the most out of your packaging mold, as we do know. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get old Double J. Oh, my gosh. Clean off the packaging that time. See you later. Like a young Fred Hoiberg. Oh, shout out to the mayor. See you later. Goodbye. And we got the little tray inside. See you later. Goodbye. Just missing the camera right there. And now we got old Jeff Jarrett, old slap nuts himself, looking pretty good here, but definitely yin and yang, definitely feeling different than the last one. You got the short hair Jeff Jarrett on here, looking very nice. You got that goatee going on. You got the blonde eyebrows. I'm guessing, yeah, same head, I guess. It's just adding the goatee is what they're doing and changing the hair up, but obviously it should be very similar. It's the same guy after all. So playing a lot of hits right there. I don't got any problems with that. But looking good. You got the silver gear going on here. You got some of the graphics there in blue. You got the down arrows going on. You got the black, a little bit of trim around the knee pads, gray boots, gray trunks, and then you got the same arms, same hands, same body throughout. Got to get the most out of your molds. We know how that goes as well. Articulation going to be identical to the last one. As I said, no bone crunching on these. They did take that away, and I don't fault Figure Collection. That added cost to the figure, I don't think it mattered for anybody to have the bone crunching after all these years. It was a cool gimmick, but it never really did anything for me, so I don't mind them taking that out of the game right here. But Jeff Jarrett, not a lot more to say. We're not going to walk through the articulation. Don't have to walk through all that stuff. We did it over here, but very cool. 2 different yin and yangs of Jeff Jarrett, I will say, is what we got going on here. But speaking of Jeff Jarrett, how about this one? Got his little cowboy hat. Got to put that on there as well. We got this one from way back in the day. So 3 different versions of old Double J here. And this, when I said, this is his true bone cruncher, if you ask me. Those other ones, are just, I don't know. I have them in my collection, but this is what it's about. And this is like the 3 eras of Jeff Jarrett for me. And obviously more eras after that. But very cool to get these 3 here together. I'm here for it. Give me all the Double J figures. Double J, for a lot of us out there, maybe we didn't appreciate him during his heyday so much, but man, absolutely love him all these years later. And I go way back to that, was it GWF, USWA feud back in the day, when USWA came down to Texas. I guess it was maybe WCCW. That was my first ever Jeff Jarrett experience when he was just a young up-and-comer with the blonde hair. I absolutely loved Jeff Jarrett back then. Of course, Eric Embry was around there. Oh, one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, Eric Embry. Absolutely loved those days. And then, of course, he ebbed and flowed throughout USWA. Did he ever touch Smoky Mountain at all? I felt like he at least wrestled one match for Smoky Mountain. Obviously, WCW multiple times. Of course, WWE multiple times. And then TNA, really the founder of TNA for all intents and purposes. So Jeff Jarrett, quite the career that still goes today into AEW, but really cool to take a step back in time and get figures of him right here. Would not be shocked to see maybe retros from figure collections, but maybe the AEW contract limits that right now. I'm not exactly sure, but very cool to get old Double J Jeff Jarrett. Could we get a big rubber guy? I know he just recently announced he re-signed. Was there a window in there? We got a big rubber guy contract? Guess we'll wait and see what happens there. But I'm here for some bone-crushing wrestlers, Jeff Jarrett. But are you? Did you pick this one up? Long game, no game, pass game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Dangerously close to 50,000 subscribers. Once we get there, we're going to have a big celebration in March. Stay tuned for that. All kinds of giveaways to go along with it. Check out my Patreon for early access to all the videos here on the channel. Plenty of content to keep you busy between both YouTube channels. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and now on TikTok. So for Double J, Jeff Jarrett, I'm Kyle. Ain't I great?